Hi, I'm Kamakshaya. For the past few videos, I've been making presentations on Sarsa. In my previous video, I explained how to change the names of data variables, I mean columns. In this video, I would like to talk about a couple of submenus listed under both edit as well as transformations. In edit, as I have introduced I have spoke about all these menus in my last video session. There are a few menus like rename columns, compute variables, record variables, missing data treatment, set values, etc. In transformations, there is something called data simulations. This is useful to create synthetic simulated data sets. So these three, compute variable, record, compute variable, record variable, and data simulations, these three submenus are interrelated. So I'm going to show you how they are interrelated, interdependent, etc. So first let me deal with the data simulations. When you click this submenu, data simulations, you will have a context window with three different tabs. The first tab is basic options, in which you have certain settings to create data variables. And under beneath of this window, there are a couple of buttons, and these buttons are control buttons. So I will speak about the importance of these buttons during the workflow. So I don't want three variables here. I'll minimize to one, and then I need to give name to this variable, and I want it to be float for time being. And let me mention the minimum value and maximum value for the data simulations. In case if you want to determine the number of decimals after a decimal point, that option is also available under this tab. Now, so if you look at bottom of the window, there are two tabs, one green and blue. The green tab, simulate data, will create the data variable of definite number, whatever it is. I don't want 100, I just want 10. This is about the basic options. When you come to the probability distributions, again there are a few settings. The difference between the basic options and probability distributions is that in basic options you will not be knowing about what is the type of the data distribution that we are creating. In probability distributions, it is, there is a choice for the selection of the underlying probability distribution. So I can use uniform distribution, Gaussian distribution, exponential, Poisson, something like that. Now let me demonstrate with this basic options. So if this is the tab where you are working, then the green color button should be clicked. Otherwise, if you are in the probability distributions, then simulate with the data distributions button should be clicked. Now I'm going to click this button, simulate data, and so this is the data variable, and now I have quite a few other implementations here through a few buttons. The save simulated data is the one which we need after edit simulated data. So I can just choose one of the data points and then start editing it, and then I can save. Right now I'm not doing that because that is a complex procedure. I just wanted to, so once you edit the data, you can save the simulated data, and then right now what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to pass this data variable to the main window, and now once the data is passed, now it is available for the further processing. Now what I'm going to do is I'll go to the edit menu and click on compute variable. Now I can make a number of transformations. Say for example, I would like to convert this into maybe I want to round this x variable to one decimal point. That I can also do that, so that is possible. Or I can just go for int of x. I don't know whether this works or not, but let's see. Yeah, this is not going on. Or if I use round x, will that be okay? Yeah, that happens. So rounding is okay, but int doesn't work because there are some data incompatibility that I will try to rectify in my future implementations. So you can also do some sort of calculations. So I want to multiply scale up and down, something like 1.5. So I'm scaling up, 0.5 I'm scaling down, something like that. and I can also make some complex like I can convert that into um, I can use as a trigonometric function sine and then add that to the multiplication of x. Let's try this, and yeah, that happens. So there are unending possibilities for computing variables, and these are all data transformations. So we can transform one data variable into the other. You can divide, multiply, and then subtract. All arithmetic operations along with trigonometric functions and the base Python functions can be done here, can be used for compute variable. Now let me talk about the record variable. So record variable, basically what it does is that it is conversion of the numeric to non-numeric, non-numeric to numeric, something like that. That is how in data analytics arena the record variable function is understood to be. So now what I do is I have computed var2. What I will convert that is actually a numeric variable. I will convert that into a categorical variable. So record var2 is this. It shows me that it is numeric create bins. Now there is some tab which is immediately after the first tab. There we'll get some information. The application is showing us some basic information. What is the minimum value? What is the maximum value? Since I created this data variable, I have pretty fair understanding on the data. So what I do is I will create two categories from the base data variable. I call it as 0 to 50 and 50 to 100. So that is how I would like to name my categories. Then I can just apply record. Now my non-numeric data variable is being created. So this is basic. And now in the last one in the three, that is set values. I think I did not mention this during introduction of this video. So this is again another related function. So usually what happens, we simulate data, we compute variables, we convert the variables into different forms, and then we record them into different types, numeric to non-numeric, non-numeric to numeric, something like that, and then we set the values that put full stop to the whole data transformations. Maybe there may be a couple of other things which so currently the app supports all these basic data transformations. Few people refer this to data mashups, something like that. Okay, now what I do is I have computed var2. I can also change the names. That is what in my if I'm not comfortable, fortunately the application allows us to deal with these variable names automatically. I mean, it populates automatically, so that we don't need to worry about length and width of the name. So if you want to change the variable names, you can change. Now what I do, I want to recode this variable. I mean, recording is done, and I want to set the values. So I want to set 1 for 0 to 50 and 2 for 50 to 100, something like that, so that I am converting this interval data to some ordinal data kind of thing. Now if that is the objective, then I have to select the set values. What is this? This is the variable name. Now the application automatically identifies the categories and talk to me like what is the code, what is the value. It is asking for the values. Now as I have thought prior, that 0 to 50 stands for 1 and 50 to 100 stands for 2. I would like to assign 1 to 0 to 50 category and 2 to 50 to 100 category. Now apply labels. Now a new variable will be created. So this is a clear and error-free workflow through which we can simulate datasets, transform them into different forms, and then record them, set values, etc., etc. Okay, this is for this video. Thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for the new content. Bye bye for now.